Hi there, in today's video we're going to be looking at the Tier 8 German tech tree cruiser, the Admiral Hipper. And here she is sporting her King of the Sea camo. Let's have a quick look at the equipment setup and the commander stills selected for this battle. And what about the matchmaking? Well, what we can see here is we're top tier in this particular battle. There's no CV and only one submarine, but there are 4 DDs. Our nautical theme quotation for this battle comes from Oliver Hazard Perry. We have met the enemy and they are ours.
Action stations.
I've spawned centrally, but I'm going to go and assist at A cap initially. I'm going to keep HE loaded initially in case we get the chance to inflict some early damage on the enemy destroyers, which is always desirable. We can see in the chat someone asking for assistance at C cap. Now at the moment we don't know how the enemy is deploying, so how many ships is the enemy going to have at each particular cap? We need to wait and see. Now if you lose the caps and you lose them for too long, then generally speaking that makes it far more difficult to win a battle. So if you can win a cap early and maintain that, that's fantastic. But the main point is, if you cannot win the cap, then at least deny it to the enemy. The main point in the early game is not to suffer unnecessary casualties in your team. Our early deployment is good in terms of the destroyers. You know, they're close to the caps, they're not overcommitting early and taking unnecessary risk, but they're in good positions. The battleships, that's another thing altogether. With both Normandy and Fuso crossing the map to come to A cap, we have more than half the team at 1 cap. This is the importance of the minimap in being able to recognise this in the team. Right then, here's that early chance to damage a destroyer. If you can do so as a cruiser or battleship, it hands an advantage to the destroyers in your own team. Only 800 damage in this case, but it did disable his steering. Okay, that's a bit of a surprise, managing to land 8 penetrations on the submarine for nearly 4,000 damage. Now then, where's that destroyer gone? There he is. Right, the enemy destroyer has smoked up now, but we've got 3 penetrations and we've defended the cap. So what I mentioned earlier about if you can't win the cap, then deny it to the enemy. And as we stand, we're doing so at all 3 caps at the moment. And a little bit of blind fire doesn't hurt. You never know when you can have a lucky hit. There's more to it than just luck though. This is not solely about damage, but it's discouragement for the enemy ship to stay there in the cap. Now I just want to close down the gap between myself and the cap a little bit here. Now I'm hoping for another chance at that enemy destroyer, but looking at the minimap, I'm just aware of this Harlem pushing the flank. Our Nebraska is having to contest the cap because our full health for Buki has retreated from the cap. That doesn't seem right. It's interesting though, we're over 5 minutes into the battle and nobody has yet held a cap. We're slightly ahead on points, but this is still a very even battle. Well done Nebraska, putting an aircraft up and finding that destroyer. 5 pins on the enemy Mayhem, knock out his engine and fully reset the cap. That feels good. And there we go, another reset of the cap. Unfortunately though, the Harlem has taken down the friendly AO, but let's go and see if we can clear that flank. AP loaded then for a close range gunfight. Would have threw someone Normandy up to it. It'd be interesting to see their post-battle results. First things first though, Harlem, it's game on. I just managed to angle enough. I didn't have the shot when he was full broadside. Let's see if I can anticipate where the torp should be. Now if he's going to kite, he only has one rear turret and I have two forward turrets, so that should give me an advantage here. He stayed angled enough to get a bunch of ricochets. Okay, great. I've dodged the drop. That was one potential advantage for him, and that's gone now. And he's taken the torp now as well, which has damaged his steering. Now, even if these torpedoes don't hit, they put him at a disadvantage because he has to worry about them. If only we could start a fire now. Okay, there he goes, he's down. I've lost a chunk of my health, but we have the ship and points advantage now, although unfortunately the enemy has taken B. I'm going to have to push the A cap. I don't see any evidence of the Buki doing that at the moment.
All forces, capture that area.
Let's see if I can sneak in at the edge of the cap without being spotted by the enemy battleships. Okay, good, that will do here. And well done to the team having captured C as well already. Okay, my secondaries have given my position away, so it looks like he's going to push behind the island anyway, so no real danger there. We have the cap though, so there's no real need for me to remain in the cap. Let's take a position and see if I can get some shots off at the enemy ship. Let's just have a quick check and make sure that I don't ground. Okay, looking good. It doesn't look like any of the enemy ships have a position to shoot at me either. That's interesting. Is the New Mexico really going to push out there? Okay, nothing from that particular volley, but our angle's improving, and she's pushing out as well. Okay, Fubuki's got this one. We just saw the enemy destroyer go down as well, and we have New Mexico taking B cap. Okay, just some time left for some tidying up now then, but even though, and you will see games get thrown in random battles, even though we have distinct advantages now, I'm still going to use the islands as cover while I get some shots away on the remaining ships. I used to push aggressively and YOLO an awful lot when I was a less experienced player, and it cost me dearly over many games. What I've learned through experience is that a YOLO is an absolute last resort in almost every case.
Our victory is in sight.
There are some exceptions, but a YOLO really is your best choice when it's your only choice. Next course on the menu then, the other New Mexico. Carolina's turn now. Okay, with all three caps over a 600 point and 6 ship advantage, this is all over by the shouting. So Hipper for me a definite step up from the Yorck. Although you are often playing against higher tier ships, she's a good solid all-round cruiser, and I enjoy playing the Hipper. And there's the victory. Final scores then. So that's 90k damage, 3 ships sunk, 1 capture and 7 defended. And that combination gives us enough experience points to finish top scorers in the team. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. Much appreciated. Bye bye.